low-level reconnaissance flights over the island of Cuba. October 25, 1962. Kennedy sends a letter to Khrushchev saying that the crisis was caused by the Soviet Union. ExComm talks about removing missiles from Turkey as compromise for removing missiles from Cuba.
Dear Khrushchev, this crisis is entirely your fault. Remove your missiles from Cuba immediately. With love, Kennedy. It's time for my afternoon tea.
October 26, 1962. Khrushchev writes a letter to Kennedy stating that they will remove their missiles from Cuba under the condition that the United States will not invade Cuba. October 27, 1962. Khrushchev writes to Kennedy saying that they will remove missiles if the United States removes its missiles from Turkey. Kennedy agrees to the terms of Khrushchev's first letter, in which Khrushchev asked for the United States never to invade Cuba in exchange for the disarmament of Soviet missiles installations in Cuba. Kennedy states that he will make a public statement about not invading Cuba if the Soviet Union removes missiles from Cuba.
So Debrun, we will remove our missiles from Turkey if you agree to remove your missiles from Cuba.
Sounds like a good plan, Robertson. But we will only remove missiles from Cuba if you remove missiles from Turkey.
October 28, 1962. Khrushchev announces that the Soviet Union will remove all Soviet missile installations from Cuba. Because of the agreement, the United States can never invade Cuba. Since Cuba is a communist country, the agreement prevents them from halting the spread of communism within the Western Hemisphere. The Americans believed in the Domino Theory, which states that if one nation falls to communism, the surrounding countries in that area would also fall. Since Cuba could not be touched by the United States, communism could, in theory, spread in the Western Hemisphere. The United States believed that it was their duty to contain communism in Eastern Europe, and that they would stop any attempt to spread the communist influence elsewhere in the world. When communism spread to Cuba, they attempted many times to thwart the communist regime in Cuba. However, they were unsuccessful in containing communism to Eastern Europe, as a country in the Western Hemisphere had fallen to communism. However, they were successful in containing the Soviet nuclear threat to Eastern Europe through the agreement made by the United States and the Soviet Union, which brought an end to the Cuban Missile Crisis. The United States and the Soviet Union did not plunge each other into a nuclear war because of nuclear deterrence or mutually assured destruction. They did not want to launch missiles at each other for fear of starting a nuclear war that could destroy the world. The threat of a mutually assured destruction was made more probable by the fact that each of the parties had missile sites near their opponent. The countries were deterred from engaging in nuclear warfare because any attack on Cuba, the United States, or the Soviet Union could be regarded as a declaration of war. This would cause their opponent to retaliate in kind, and thus would thrust the opposing powers into devastating nuclear war. Both countries had to dismantle a portion of their missile sites around the world. The Soviet Union agreed to remove missiles from Cuba, and the United States promised to secretly disarm their nuclear arms project in Turkey over a course of 5 years.